Hi everybody, welcome to our TNT for Thursday. Plenty to talk about, but first I just wanted to thank Steve Ross. He's put together, with Chumnan, two turtle shell replicas. They're built out of paper mache, and this one is for Coral Cottage, which is the name of this beach house that I live in, and the other one is for Bonneville, which is the name of the beach house which we rent out on Airbnb. So we're going to hang these at the front, a bit of identification for making it a bit easier for people to find them. And big thanks to Steve. Also a big thanks to William Bright, who sent some cherry ripes for me. Knows that I like cherry ripes. He sent far too many, but thank you very much, William. I do appreciate it. And he said, good morning, Mr. Ross, because he sent the package to Steve. Thank you and Tim Newton for the laughter and joy that both of you bring with Sunday's grumpy old men. The cherry ripes are for Tim Newton. Keep up the happiness and laughter. Thank you again for the happy start to a Sunday. And that's from William Bright. So thank you, William, and thank you, Steve and Chumnan, for those fantastic turtle shell replicas, which will hang on the walls out the front, so everybody can see them in the future. Let's get on with today's news, and I suppose still a lot of interest in what's been happening with the Thai Prime Minister's visit to the Belt and Road Forum in Beijing. And this was announced yesterday. It's in ThaiPBSWorld.com. Srettha invites Putin to visit Thailand. And Thailand's Prime Minister, Srettha Thavisin, has invited the Russian President, Vladimir Putin, to visit Thailand and strengthen the two countries' ties. He extended the invitation to the Russian president during their meeting in Beijing on Tuesday. It was the first meeting between the two leaders, who are in China to attend an international forum on the Belt and Road Initiative. And he said, I asked Russia to promote mutual trade in agricultural commodities and increase investment in Thailand. I also invited President Putin to visit Thailand to strengthen our relations. He also noted that more than 1 million Russians have visited Thailand this year, and the cabinet just recently approved an extension of the period of visa-free stay for Russian tourists from 30 to 90 days. And that's certainly been a controversial decision, given the number of comments we've had over the past couple of days. Let's see if we can find out any more information about this particular meeting. And BangkokPost.com reporting, Srettha invites Putin for official visit. And we go to the second paragraph. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has thrown Putin into international isolation, leaving him with few allies. And the International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Putin over the alleged deportation of thousands of Ukrainian children to Russia. Thailand, which is not party to the ICC Rome Statute, opted to maintain cooperation with Russia. And the Prime Minister said President Putin likes Phuket. I understand he travels often, referring to a Thai resort island. Well, certainly not recently. I understand that President Putin's been in Phuket in the past, but we're talking decades ago, not terribly recently. I don't think he's doing much travel of recent times. And according to a Thai government statement, Putin has accepted the invitation, but a date has yet to be set. And Thailand joined China and India in abstaining at a United Nations General Assembly vote last year to condemn Russia's annexation of parts of Ukraine. Well, Thailand maintaining the neutrality game as it does. The arrival of President Putin next year, I say, would be a very slim possibility. But what else has the Thai Prime Minister been saying? Well, he's been updating people on the situation of Thais expatriating from Israel, and Nation Thailand reporting soon 600 Thais to be evacuated a day from Israel, says the PM, as the death toll rises to 30. And just again talking about the Prime Minister's apparel, and one clever viewer yesterday noted that the coordinated colour between the ties and the socks worn by the Prime Minister might be the royal colours, given that there's a change of colour each day. You go to a lot of government offices around Thailand, you'll see them wearing yellow one day, then green the next, then red, then purple. It still happens in quite a lot of offices, including here in Thai Muang. So that might be the colour code for the Prime Minister. But he confirmed the Israeli government confirmed the death to the Thai embassy in Tel Aviv on Wednesday, although it was not clear when the latest victim had died. The number of injured remained unchanged at 16, while 18 are presumed to have been taken hostage by Hamas. And Srettha said he told the UN chief that despite Thailand not being a party to the conflict over Palestine, it had suffered the second highest death toll after the US. Well, that should be the fourth highest death toll. Of course, Palestinians and Israelis are the highest death toll by far. And Srettha said the UN Secretary-General was shocked by the loss of Thai lives and expressed his condolences. And the Prime Minister added that many Thais were still unable to leave the risky zones in Israel, and dozens of Thais could not reach the airport in time for their flights, although they had registered with the Thai embassy for repatriation. And Srettha also urged the remaining Thais to decide as soon as possible whether they want to continue working in Israel at their own risk or return to Thailand. And he said the risk is on you. The government has a duty to repatriate people fast and safe after you make a decision to return home. So the Thai Prime Minister making it quite clear if Thais want to stay in Israel and Gaza that it's on their own risk. Obviously the Thai government working very hard with authorities in the area to try and get Thais out of there as soon as possible. A big thanks to our sponsor, 5 Star Marine. Now there's a link in the description if you want to have read about the different destinations that you can visit, and also a special deal for TNT viewers. Thursday's TNT, and thanks for dropping in. Please subscribe to the channel if you get a chance. And quite a lot of investment in Thailand at the moment, coming in from different areas than in the past. And noting this one reported in nationthailand.com, world's biggest eyewear company opens new plant in Rayong. And Essilor Luxottica, the world's leading eyewear producer, officially opened a new plant in Rayong on Tuesday. The integrated ophthalmic lens and frames manufacturing plant is part of the company's 16 billion baht investment to turn Thailand into its Southeast Asia manufacturing hub. The new factory is expected to create 6,000 jobs. The Rayong plant is among the largest of Essilor Luxottica Group's global facilities. And they'll manufacture ophthalmic lenses, prescription frames and sunglasses, as well as complete pairs of lenses and frames. And it's got a capacity of 50,000 pairs of eyewear per day, which can be increased depending on the market demand. Just noting that I've got ophthalmic lenses, artificial lenses in my eyes. Best decision I ever made to get them put in. They weren't made by this particular company though. But it's now time for the Bullshit Award of the day. This was said at the opening of the facility. This is a significant step in our commitment to better address the growing global visual health needs through an increasingly integrated, diversified and geographically balanced footprint. What the hell does that mean? Anyway, moving on. And both chief operating officers noted a global post-COVID health trend for eyewear that can protect and care for the eyes. Was that a trend that you got caught up in? Did you suddenly emerge from COVID-19 pandemic thinking, I need to get a new pair of eyeglasses? Anyway, talking about manufacturing and investment in Thailand, this is a biggie that seems to have, a stamp of approval on it. And Bangkok Post reporting, China interested in Thai land bridge project, and China Harbour Engineering says they're interested in a proposed 1 trillion baht land bridge project that would link the Gulf of Thailand and the Andaman Sea. And the company chairman expressed the interest during a meeting with the Prime Minister in Beijing on Wednesday, and CHEC is China's largest infrastructure developer and has done business in Thailand since 1994 through its local subsidiary CHEC Thai Company. And the company carries out dredging and reclamation work, road and bridge work, railway tracks, airports and other work related to infrastructure, and employs about 500 people. That doesn't mean the Chinese are going to be investing money in the land bridge, just that one Chinese infrastructure company is happy to look at perhaps being involved in the building of the project. More about that in a moment. And the project for Chumphon and Ranong, first proposed by the previous government, well, it wasn't. The proposal's been around for, decades, including another proposal called the Kra Canal, which would have been like a Panama Canal-like structure put right through the middle of Thailand. This is a land bridge, which would be roads and rail lines and a port at each side, which would link the two sides of the Isthmus of Kra. And the third paragraph there, planned as a public-private partnership, the trillion baht project would include deep-sea ports in Chumphon and Ranong, an intercity motorway, oil pipelines and double-track railways. And the government will receive investment proposals from international bidders from April to June 2025 and announce bidding winners in August of the same year. It expects construction to begin in September 2025. So it looks like the new government's certainly committed to this project. How exactly it's going to be paid for, well, that hasn't been announced at this stage, but just to try and describe it for those people that haven't quite got their head around this land bridge project, well, there's a map of Thailand, just so you know what's going on. And right down there you can see that red line, which would be the land bridge linking Ranong and the Chumphon coastline, basically the Andaman Sea to the Gulf of Thailand. The little blue dot, that's where I live. And a little bit closer there we can see Ranong and Chumphon, which I've underlined in red, and sort of roughly what that 90-kilometre track would be, which I've marked in blue, between the two deep-sea ports on either side. Noting that certainly on the Ranong side there are some very sensitive environmental areas, including some beautiful holiday islands. I'm not really sure if anybody, including the Myanmar government, are going to be happy about big ships and oil traipsing its way through that particular area. Some environmental protests, I'm sure, are ahead as they look towards the start of this project. So we can see there with the red line, that's the current route of traffic from the west to the east, and it goes down through the Malacca Straits, down through the port of Singapore, and then up into the South China Sea. The new blue line shows that it would stop at Ranong, go across the land bridge to the other side of the Thai coast, through the Gulf of Thailand, and then making its way up through the South China Sea. Knocking some 2 days off the traditional route, and that of course is the background behind all the savings that are proposed. Now, the Prime Minister did address this whilst he was making a speech at Beijing yesterday. And KhaosodEnglish.com reporting Srettha Thavisin delivers the Green Silk Road speech at the Belt and Road Forum. And he was speaking at the Green Silk Road for Harmony with Nature. It's the third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. It took place yesterday in Beijing, and these are some paragraphs from the statement. He said, just recently the Thai Cabinet affirmed the study and implemented plans for the land bridge project. This project will connect the Andaman Sea and the Indian Ocean to the Gulf of Thailand and the Pacific Ocean, improving connectivity in the southern Andaman region. And this will reduce the commute times going through the Straits of Malacca under the logistic operation idea of one port, two sides, across a land distance of 90 kilometres in southern Thailand. We hope that this will work in harmony with the Belt and Road Initiative infrastructure and help connect the world. So those comments made by the Thai Prime Minister yesterday and released in a statement. As I said, I still don't think it's going to happen. They've been talking about this for decades, and I suspect they'll be speaking about it for decades beyond. Well, one thing I've certainly noted over the past 3 to 6 months has been a lot higher fuel prices. Not that I've necessarily noted it when looking up on the boards driving past the petrol stations, but when filling up, I used to be able to fill my Honda HR-V for around about 1,000 baht. Well, now it's costing 15 or 1,600 baht to fill that same tank. So this might be welcome, and it's in the patianews.com. Thai Minister of Energy proposes to reduce gasoline and Gasohol 91 prices by 2.5 baht per litre. And this is the spokesperson from the United Thai Nations Party talking about a reduction in the price of gasoline and Gasohol 91 by 2.5 baht per litre. And they say they've given guidance to a team to research reducing the price of gasoline and Gasohol 91. But the Ministry of Energy officials would have to discuss the reduction rate for all target groups by 2.5 baht per litre. After 2 weeks of consideration, the feedback would be presented to the Ministry of Energy for further proceedings. So don't rush out right now and spend all that money you've saved when you've been filling your tank with petrol. It's still just a proposal. And we go to nationthailand.com, and the NACC wants the government to decide on Monument of Corruption aquarium in Songkhla. There's a photo of this, rather elaborate building looking a bit like a shell. And, is it open? The senior official of the Southern Office of the National Anti-Corruption Commission has called on the government to make a decision on what should be done with an aquarium in Songkhla province left unfinished for 14 years after spending 1.4 billion baht. Not a fish in sight. Let's see what's happened. The project was initiated by the Office of the Vocation Education Commission in 1993. Construction started in 2008, with the initial schedule to be completed in 2011. And despite spending 1.4 billion baht on its construction, the aquarium remained unfinished and unable to serve as a marine museum as intended. And the NACC decided last month to charge 27 people in connection with the project. The agencies declined to give details of the charges against them so far, and they say the office needed 45 more days to draft the investigation report before details of the charges against the 27 persons would be made public. And the office has detected collaboration to siphon money off from the project, from the process of designing the aquarium and the amendments of reimbursement procedures to benefit the contractor. And 27 suspects included 4 former executives of the Vocational Education Office, including the one who had signed in approval of the project and the person who approved the amendments of the contract. But what he and the people of Songkhla wanted was a decision by the government on what to do with this monument of corruption. And he noted that there was no road leading to the building, as if it was designed to remain unused from the beginning. What a sad and sorry state that is. A pretty smart looking building and would make a great aquarium, and I'm sure could be a very popular tourist destination and a learning centre for the people down in the south of Thailand. Maybe the government might, under a lot of controls, finish that off and everybody can enjoy it in the future. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand today. I thank you for dropping in. Big thanks to our sponsors, 5 Star Marine, and we'll do it all again tomorrow.